Hello, dear Classtime educator community. In this weekly webinar, we'll be answering again a few questions from our valued educators from around the world, and we'll try to answer questions and make sure that you're as successful as possible. So without further ado, let's jump straight in. The first question is from Denise from the USA, asking, can you show us how to use the audio feature, or how it can be used, right? And so that is exactly what I'm going to do right now. 1 second. Wonderful. So the audio feature is a new feature we just released about 1-2 weeks ago, which allows you to literally upload any MP3 file that you'd like. So when you have a text, in combination with any of the question types you have here, you can now upload an audio file, and you can listen to it. So you should be able to listen to it as well, right? And so I'll show that in a second as a student. But what I do want to show you is that you can now here add audio and then upload any type of file that you would like to, so that students can listen to it. And so there are many ways that teachers use or have already started using the audio feature, which is for young kids, so that when they can't read, they can at least listen, or in addition to trying to read, also listen to something that you've recorded. Or it can also be for listening comprehension for older students, when it's like a Spanish class and you want to do some listening comprehension exercises. Or for other topics such as subjects like music. And so there are many ways. We're looking for what comes from it. But let me quickly show you how this works, right? So I did now, let me open the preview, or let me start the session. So I have to make sure that I'm in the same tab so you can actually hear the audio. That's why I'm experimenting here a bit. All right, let me go like this. This should work. Perfect. So now I'm logged in, right? And this is one example where it's specific to young students that can't read yet or aren't very good at reading yet. So you have the text here. What is the story about? But you can also listen to the recording that was recorded and uploaded on top. So,
helping a friend. Enzo and Zoe were running a race. Enzo fell.
And so this whole story is read, right? And then you can go jump to the end where, if kids can recognize A, B, and C, you can also read the answer options to them so I can listen to, right?
More than help a friend. B, Zoe wanted to help her friend more than win a race. Or C, Zoe hurt Enzo and felt bad.
So this is one way where, the entire question was basically read to the students. And then, if you go to latter ones where you have, like only images, only the answer option, or only the question was read, right?
Which picture best tells the story?
So this is one way how, for example, teachers for, kindergartners, first grade, second grade do it, or, new language learners. So these are the kind of opportunities you have when using the audio file, and this is a real example. Great. So let me quickly close the stream and open a new one. Voila. For the next question. Here we go. Back to class time. Perfect. Good. The next question. Mrs. Henschel from the US asked, are students able to attach photos of their written work? So a lot of teachers are interested in showing some type of proof of work. And so what we don't have today is like a built-in take a photo of your PDF function. We don't have like a focused dedicated upload as a student. But what we do have is live chat. And so what you can do with this is, like, I'll go back to the session I just joined, right, actually. So if you do have for, a student did some work or photographed something, a workaround that works today is that you would click here on the chat icon, and then the chat opens. And so here you can chat with the teacher, but you can also upload any file you'd like, right? So if I go here now and I have, for example, a PDF, and this is just a random PDF, but I upload that PDF, that is uploaded into the teacher-student chat. So now when I go back into the session list, right, and I look for the one I just created, which is this one, I can see that the chat icon is active. And when I click on it, I can see that I myself as a student have uploaded this PDF that I can click on and open and see what the student sent me, right? And so this works for photos or audio recordings or whatever, right? So while this will not reflect in your questions and a score of your questions, you can ask students to upload certain files through the chat, and that will remain stored and available for you to also check in at a later point of time. So it's not just a live chat that disappears forever, but you can log out and check back in a week. You'll still find those files there. So that is a current workaround if you want your students to upload some type of proof of work. Good. Next question is from Lauren from the States as well. How can I filter sessions by classes? Yep, so we did update our session list with the introduction of classes. So before, many teachers used labels, to sort, for example, by class. I guess I don't have one here, maybe. Oh, no. Okay, practice. Here we go. One of the labels that I did, practice. And teachers would use this to, tag their sessions with, their names of the names of the classes. However, now what you can do is that when you have a class set up and you invite them, right, our system automatically assigns it to the class. So it's not something you need to label manually. And just like with labels, however, you can just click on classes and then look at, class time sessions. So these are all my classes that were class time, or, my make-believe class, maybe here, one, where I can filter it by class. So that is something that is absolutely available as well. We go to sessions and then filter by sessions. Good. Next question is from Camila from Chile. Is it possible for students to enter a class only with nicknames? My kindergarten students do not have emails. So classes, as you might have known from last webinar, is a new feature where you can invite your students and you can invite them by email, right? However, it is not possible to invite students without an email, because when students join your class, they need to be able to, so let's go to classtime.com, right? Now I'm already logged in, but they need to log in with their student account. And so they have, I'm not good. 4 options. They have join with Google, join with Microsoft accounts, join with Clever, or join via email, right? So if your students do have a Clever account, for example, or they have a Chromebook that automatically logs them into their Google account, they don't need an email. They can join then through their social account, whatever the school provides, right? But they will have to identify themselves in some way, and that is an email associated to one of those accounts, so that we can be sure that it's really that student that's supposed to join that class. So unlike a session where you can join with temporary nicknames, that is not possible for classes. Next question is from Anna, the States. Are there any differences between classes with a school license and premium? Yes, there are. So classes is a premium feature. If you are on premium, you can create any class you'd like. And then that is obviously included in school licenses. However, if you do have a school license, what you can do is you can work with co-teachers, right? So co-teachers can invite you to a class, and you'll have access to all of their students, and you can also invite those students into a session. So in this case, I can see that Fulia here is the class owner, and I'm added as a co-teacher. So I can't rename the class or delete the class, but I can see the students here, and I can also invite more students and change and maintain the class list. However, if I own a class like here, now I'm the class owner, I can invite anyone that I'd like to. So I can invite now my colleagues into my class, and now both Jan and Maria will have access to my little Classtime marketing class, right? So as a teacher, then I can go in, and as you've seen before, like when you invite a class, I can now see all of the classes, including the ones that I am not, the owner of, but only a co-teacher. So this one is not actually owned by me, but I can now invite other classes, and I can see the data in the session list, and so can other co-teachers access this. And this is only available on a school license, because the teachers you can invite need to be part of your organization. Good. Next question from Nicole is, how many co-teachers can I invite per class? So you can invite a lot of teachers, actually. So there's no limit. You can invite as many teachers, co-teachers as you'd like to your class. That's absolutely no problem. You'll just see all of them always listed here. So you always know who are your co-teachers, but there's no limit to inviting more co-teachers to a class. But be careful, right? Because if you do invite more co-teachers, it means they have access to your student list. They can change the setup of your class. They can see all of your past sessions with that were assigned to that class. And they can also create new sessions and assign it to other classes. So yeah, we suggest to be conservative with it. That's why it's also only available within your school organization. But that is how it works, and there's technically no limit to it. Good. I think that was it for today. If you have any questions or feedback, leave a comment or directly message us. We will gladly answer your questions in one of our future webinars. And don't forget to join our Facebook educator community. That will be on facebook.com/groups/ClassTimeCom. Yeah, that's it. Or you go on our Classtime business page. If you look for Facebook for Classtime, and you'll find it under the group sections. There you'll get a lot of more support questions and be able to engage in our community and also learn about upcoming improvements on Classtime. So then, without further ado, I thank you for joining us today, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.